I just want to comment on future generations. Mark Thurston came on the radio recently and said that HS2 is being built to future-proof for future generations, and it's just shocking that he didn't get pulled up on that by the interviewer, who generally did quite a good job of interviewing, I have to say, like highlighting his £625,000 salary and asking if the comments that the Chancellor recently made and others have made about needing to cut back on these high-paid transport salaries, whether that related to him and his team, and Mark Thurston completely avoiding the question, whereas clearly it did point to him. Is one of the most highly paid people from our tax money. His £625,000 is just one small component of why we each pay £7,000 in our taxes to fund the ecocide of HS2. But in terms of future generations, the scheme is going to contribute millions of tons, potentially 14 million tons of CO2 into the atmosphere just from the concrete and the steel in the construction alone. That doesn't include all of the carbon that's released when you disturb the soil. Massive areas of our soil is getting dug up for these roads, these associated developments, these compounds, all of this part of this land grab. That's massive additional CO2 from that. So that is not looking after future generations. What would be looking after future generations is to come together to stop all emissions as soon as possible within the next 4 or 5 years. That's what would really protect future generations. And then once we've done that, start to think about how we get the rest of the CO2 excess out of the atmosphere. So to talk about future proofing when you're accelerating the climate and ecological emergency, which is stealing the future from our children, is just shocking, and just another example of many bits of HS2 spin and greenwash.